In 1928, a mountaineer traversing the remote Karakoram Mountains of India stumbled upon a glowing, otherworldly sphere amid the icy expanse. The object radiated an unearthly light that seemed to beckon him. Compelled by an overwhelming curiosity, he reached out to touch it and was instantly overwhelmed, losing consciousness. When he awoke, the sphere had vanished, leaving no trace of its existence. In its place, a peculiar scar marked his hand, a lasting reminder of the strange encounter that defied explanation. In the present day, astronomers tracked a massive, unidentified object hurtling toward Earth at a staggering 1/10 the speed of light. Alarmed by its potential for catastrophic impact, the global scientific and political communities scrambled to respond. The US government urgently assembled a team of experts, including Princeton professor Dr. Helen Benson, to analyze the phenomenon and devise a survival strategy. As the team worked tirelessly to understand the object's trajectory and intent, they concluded it was on a direct path to Manhattan, triggering widespread anxiety. As the enigmatic object neared Earth, they anticipated impact never occurred. Instead, the celestial body decelerated dramatically, defying expectations. It revealed itself to be a colossal spherical spacecraft, descending with precision and coming to rest in Central Park. The vessel's advanced design and sheer scale left both scientists and onlookers in awe. Despite warnings, crowds gathered around the site, captivated by the historic and potentially dangerous moment. The US military swiftly mobilized, encircling the spacecraft with heavily armed troops. Weapons were trained on the vessel as tension and uncertainty mounted. Officials struggled to maintain control over the situation, while the world watched with bated breath. When a humanoid alien figure emerged from the sphere, its appearance provoked awe and fear in equal measure. However, the fragile calm shattered when a soldier, acting out of panic, fired and wounded the alien. In response, a towering robot emerged from the spacecraft, demonstrating immense power. It released a pulsating energy wave that incapacitated the military and disabled all electronics in New York City, plunging the area into an eerie silence. Despite its injury, the alien managed to command the robot to cease its actions, calming the chaos. The robot powered down, and the alien stood resolute amidst the stunned humans, signaling the beginning of an unprecedented encounter with an intelligence far beyond humanity's comprehension. The injured alien is transported to a military hospital, where a surgeon discovers that its body is a placenta-like suit encasing a human-like being. This being quickly matures into Klaatu, resembling the man seen in the film's opening scene, whose DNA had been extracted by the aliens. Klaatu informs Regina Jackson, the US Secretary of Defense, that he is an emissary representing a coalition of alien races and requests to address the United Nations. Jackson denies his request, ordering him to a secure facility for interrogation. Klaatu escapes with Helen's help, and the two, along with Helen's stepson Jacob, evade authorities across New Jersey. Using a vial of the alien placenta material saved by Helen, Klaatu rapidly heals his bullet wound. Meanwhile, the alien sphere's presence causes worldwide panic, and the US military unsuccessfully attempts to destroy it using missile-equipped drones. Although the robot accompanying the sphere thwarts their attacks, it is eventually captured. Klaatu meets Mr. Wu, an alien who has lived secretly on Earth for 70 years. Mr. Wu shares his disappointment in humanity's destructive nature and reluctance to change, aligning with Klaatu's belief that humanity's eradication is necessary for Earth's survival. However, Mr. Wu expresses his love for humans and his decision to stay on Earth, even if it means perishing with them, leaving Klaatu perplexed but resolute in his mission. Klaatu begins activating hidden spheres across the planet to remove animal species, safeguarding them from humanity's destruction. Helen accompanies Klaatu to a forest near a pond, where she witnesses him summoning a sphere that collects various species, reminiscent of Noah's Ark. Standing on water, Klaatu demonstrates his extraordinary powers, emphasizing the divide between humanity's destructive tendencies and the alien coalition's mission to preserve Earth's ecological balance. Around the globe, the spheres continue to collect various life forms. Helen, seeking clarity, questions Klaatu about his earlier statement regarding saving Earth. She learns with dismay that his solution to preserving the planet is to eliminate humanity, as he views humans as the greatest threat to Earth's survival. Desperate, Helen pleads with him to reconsider, insisting that humanity is capable of change. Their conversation is interrupted by a police officer who notices strange activity by the pond. Recognizing Klaatu as a wanted fugitive, the officer draws his weapon and confronts him. Klaatu defends himself by using telekinesis to move Helen's car, striking and killing the officer. However, showing compassion, Klaatu revives the officer by applying the alien placenta material and laying hands on his head, miraculously bringing him back to life. To persuade Klaatu to reevaluate his stance on humanity, Helen takes him to meet Professor Barnhart, the Nobel Prize-winning scientist. At Barnhart's home, the two engage in a thought-provoking discussion. Klaatu learns about humanity's capacity for adaptation and change, as Barnhart recounts how Klaatu's race underwent significant evolution to survive the collapse of their star. The professor appeals to Klaatu's reasoning, emphasizing that humans, too, have the potential to overcome their destructive tendencies. Meanwhile, the robot known as Gort, genetically organized robotic technology, captured by the US government, undergoes experiments in a secure underground facility in Virginia. During an attempt to drill into Gort's structure, scientists inadvertently release its genetic material, which transforms into a swarm of winged, insect-like nanites. These self-replicating nanites dissolve Gort's form and begin spreading across the landscape, annihilating humans and man-made objects in their path. Remarkably, the swarm spares natural elements like grass and trees, signaling its intent to return the planet to its pristine state. The nanite swarm, unstoppable in its march, heads toward Manhattan, where the primary sphere is stationed. Klaatu, influenced by his conversation with Professor Barnhart, begins to reconsider his judgment of humanity. However, their fragile progress is disrupted when Jacob, mistrustful of Klaatu, contacts the authorities and reveals their location. Responding swiftly, the government dispatches 3 helicopters to apprehend Klaatu. Using his telekinetic abilities, Klaatu generates an ear-piercing sound that disrupts the pilots' radios, causing them to lose control and crash. Amid the chaos, military forces succeed in capturing Helen, further escalating the tension and complicating Klaatu's mission. Jacob and Klaatu eventually come to an understanding and form an alliance, leading Secretary Jackson to allow Helen to reason with Klaatu. Convinced by their appeals and the potential for humanity to change, Klaatu agrees to stop the impending destruction. They proceed toward Central Park and the large sphere in an effort to halt the swarm of nanites. However, their journey is interrupted when the president overrides Jackson's decision and orders a military strike to eliminate Klaatu. Despite surviving the assault, the attack delays their progress toward the sphere. Klaatu warns Helen and Jacob that even if he succeeds in stopping Gort, humanity will have to face consequences that will significantly alter their way of life. As they near the sphere, the swarm of nanites arrives, spreading destruction and infecting everything in its path. Both Helen and Jacob are exposed to the nanites, and Helen, in her desperation, pleads with Klaatu to prioritize saving Jacob over herself. Moved by her selflessness, Klaatu takes action. To save Helen and Jacob, Klaatu transfers the nanite infection from their bodies to his own, enduring the destructive process himself. With great resolve, he walks through the swarm and reaches the sphere. Upon touching it, Klaatu initiates a sequence that deactivates the nanobot cloud, bringing the destructive swarm to an end and sparing humanity from annihilation. The sphere then prepares to leave Earth, its mission complete. However, the cost of salvation becomes evident as Earth's electrical systems are permanently disabled, plunging the planet into a new era devoid of modern technology. Humanity is left to rebuild and adapt, while Klaatu departs with the sphere, leaving behind a planet spared from destruction but fundamentally transformed.